Have you ever looked into a dog's eyes and realized that for some people, this isn't just a pet? It's an absolute necessity for survival. While most people see a dog and simply smile, there is a rare class of individuals who experience something far deeper, something almost sacred. They don't just share a house with an animal. They design their entire universe around them, their routines, their peace, their reason to come home. And science doesn't just support this behavior. Science says it is a profound mirror into who these people truly are. If you are one of them, stay with me, because what you are about to hear will change how you see yourself forever. Point 1. The sanctuary of pure connection. You look for a bond without conditions. Think about every significant human relationship in your life. Every one of them came with invisible strings. You were asked to perform, to succeed, to prove yourself, again and again and again. Pause. Human connection is beautiful, but it is also exhausting. And then, there is your dog. Your dog doesn't ask about your salary, doesn't count your failures, doesn't hold silence against you like a weapon. They look at you, at the worst, most broken version of you, and their tail still moves. In psychology, this is called unconditional positive regard, a term introduced by Dr. Carl Rogers, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century. His research found that humans thrive, not when they are corrected but when they are accepted exactly as they are. Dogs don't just offer this, they are built from it. And if you are someone who has been scarred or quietly let down by the people who should have stayed, your love for dogs is not weakness, it is your soul, finding the safest place it has ever known. Point 2. The invisible emotional intelligence. You feel what other people cannot hear. People assume that loving animals is a sign of sensitivity, of softness, of being too emotional for this world. They are wrong. A landmark study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that dog owners score significantly higher in empathy, intuition, and nonverbal emotional decoding compared to non-owners. Significantly higher, not marginally. Significantly. And here is why. Dogs have no language, none. They communicate entirely through microscopic shifts in body language, changes in energy, variations in vocal tone. Over years of living with a dog, your brain is quietly, unconsciously, rewired. You learn to notice the exact moment a tail wag changes, from excitement to anxiety. You detect the difference between a bark that says, "I am thrilled," and one that says, "Something is wrong." And then you take that skill into every human relationship you have. You are the person in the room who sees through the fake smile, who notices the silence behind someone's "I'm fine," who feels what cannot be said out loud. That is not softness. That is one of the rarest forms of intelligence that exists. Point 3. The architecture of rare loyalty. You choose depth over popularity. We live in a world that rewards performance. The more followers, the wider the network, the louder the social presence, the more valuable you are supposed to be. You never believed that. Researchers at the University of Michigan studying attachment patterns in adults found that those who form deep bonds with animals consistently prioritize consistency over convenience, transparency over image, presence over performance. Dog people don't collect crowds. They protect their energy. They would genuinely rather have one person, one unshakable, completely honest, loyal person, than 100 people who disappear when the room empties. Your dog taught you that. Not in a lecture, not in a book. Simply by staying. Every single time when everything else moved. Point 4. The biology of the caregiver. There is an exact neurological reason why caring for your dog feels like medicine. When you prepare their food, when you take them to the vet, or when you sit beside them when they are unwell, your brain is not just being kind, it is releasing oxytocin, the same hormone that floods a parent's brain when they hold their newborn child. A study from the Azabu University in Japan measured oxytocin levels in dog owners during extended eye contact with their dogs. The levels were comparable to those of a mother looking at her baby. You are not just a pet owner. You are a parent, neurologically, chemically, completely. And if you look at your history, many people who love dogs this deeply learned early that love means responsibility. Perhaps you were the one who cared for others before anyone cared for you. A dog gives that caregiving heart the purest, safest place to pour everything it carries. Point 5. The quiet mind that craves simplicity. You are an overthinker and you are exhausted. Modern life is not just busy, it is mentally paralyzing. There are people to decode, agendas to read, expectations to carry, and an endless social performance that never seems to end. And then your dog looks at you, and the entire thing stops. Because your dog's world is beautifully, mercifully. Simple walk, feed play, sleep, love, repeat. No performance required, no agenda hidden beneath the surface, no sentence that means something different from what it sounds like. For a mind that never stops running, that simplicity is not boring, it is survival. Point 6. The depth of the misunderstood. You know what it feels like to be overlooked. At some point in your life, you were the quiet one, the one who felt things too deeply, the one who didn't fit, the shape of the room you were placed in. And dogs are the most misunderstood creatures on this planet, judged by their breed, discarded when inconvenient, loved only when they are small, and perfect, and easy. Think about the person who walks into a shelter, past the puppies that everyone wants and sits down beside the oldest dog in the building. The one nobody has chosen, the one that has stopped hoping. They don't choose that dog by accident. On the deepest level, they recognize something. They see themselves. When you rescue a broken dog, you are not just saving an animal. You are quietly, unconsciously, healing a part of yourself that was once just as lost. Slowest pace, warmest tone, most important section. So what does all of this mean? It means that if your life revolves around a dog, if you rearrange your schedule for them, if you stay home because they need you, if you love them in a way that some people will never understand, you are not excessive. You are not too much. You are not wasting your love on an animal. You are one of the rarest kinds of people that this world produces. You are someone who knows how to love without keeping score, who gives without needing a reason, who stays when others leave. And the truth, the deepest, most important truth, is this: how you treat a creature that can do absolutely nothing for you, in return, says everything about who you are, about the depth you carry, about the kind of love you are capable of giving, almost a whisper. Your dog already knows all of this. They have always known. They chose you anyway. Warm, natural, like a friend. If this video described you, share it with someone who will recognize themselves in it. Because somewhere out there, someone is loving their dog and wondering if it is too much. It isn't. It never was. Subscribe for more and tell me in the comments which point described you the most. I read every single one.